Such a lovely, handsome photo, isn't it? Oh, there we go. Good service gets talked about, and great service gets even more people talking. But outstanding, amazing service is something your customers will shout about. Just being the best at what you do isn't nearly enough. You need to be the only one. In a world of similar businesses where click away is as close as our competition comes, we need to be the only one people talk about and the only one people recommend. You know, human beings are egotistical maniacs, aren't we? We don't care what people do. We care what they can do for us. We care what's in it for us. And my clients are always telling me that they're customer focused. And they are. They focus on the customers and what they can get from that person. What they should be focused on is what the customer's focused on and what the customer needs and what the customer wants. They should focus on delighting that person. Delighting them, not just satisfying them. Because who cares about being satisfied anyway? When was the last time you went out for dinner, rushed outside to phone your mum and tell her how satisfied you were with that meal? Never, right? We don't care about satisfaction, and the best businesses know that, and they delight. The best businesses delight by default. When your competition is literally a click away, the nearest person to you is just over the wall. What we want to do is think about those businesses, those really great businesses, the ones that come to mind instantly, and the world's full of them. If I was to ask you to name a motorcycle brand, you might think of Harley-Davidson. And if I was to ask you to think of a holiday destination or somewhere you might go with the kids, a theme park maybe, you might think of Disney. There are loads of these businesses. We talk about them all day long. And can we join them? Of course we can, but it takes a huge amount of effort for us to get there. For my 10th wedding anniversary, I decided that I'd completely surprise Mandy and I'd get her mum down from rugby and would take her away for the weekend somewhere very special. So after lunch, I packed up the car and we drove off through the leafy Oxfordshire countryside to a lovely little country hotel where we would stay for the evening and enjoy a meal in the restaurant together. And from the greeting at reception to the flowers and the lovely card left by the owner for us when we arrived, everything was just about perfect. And we spent a really nice afternoon casually wandering around the beautifully manicured gardens, stopping to chat to the gardeners in the vegetable patch about what they were doing that day and what would be lovely to eat and what the chefs were going to use in the restaurant that evening. And while we were sitting on the grass enjoying a cold glass of champagne in the late afternoon sun, Mandy's phone beat with a text message. And the text message read, "I've gone into labour." Mandy's sister, her only sister, was pregnant with their first child, a first niece or nephew, an amazing cherry on what had already become a really fantastic day. And later that evening, as we sat down for dinner, and the waiters appeared and they put the food on the table, started to explain to us what we were about to eat, Mandy's phone rang. And a little bit embarrassed, she pulled it out of her bag and she started to smile, and then a tear rolled down her cheek. And then she smiled an even wider smile, and then another set tear, and more tears. And while this was all happening, oh, by the way, she'd had a baby girl called Charlotte Amanda. While this was happening, the waiters just appeared and very carefully and very quietly removed the plates and then very gently placed a box of tissues by Mandy's side. The most perfect personal piece of service I've ever seen. And from the corner of the room, the maitre d' caught the waiter's eye, and he gave a little nod and an almost imperceivable smile. Beautiful, exquisite, amazing service. But what made that little thing happen? What made that wonderful moment happen? And more importantly, what can we take from it back to our businesses? What can you do today and in the years to come to truly delight your clients? What exceptional experiences can you give them to take away and cherish? Satisfaction makes you one of many, but delighting clients, truly delighting clients, so they want to talk about you, that makes you the only one. How can you become Mickey Mouse on a Harley-Davidson that people want to talk about? Satisfaction makes you one of many. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.